Morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Town Hall number 54, the 7th of July. I'm happy to be joined by my usual colleague and companion in this Town Hall, is Mark.
Hi everyone.
And we're missing the usual other co-host. Nick Fensmaker is actually on a short vacation. I think he's traveling. So he's not able to join us this time, but we'll still bring you the developer updates. I'll cover them as well as I can. As usual, we will allow a few minutes for people who would like to join us live. Happy 4th of July to our American friends who celebrate that. Hi, Dojo Trees. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Recreator. I hope you guys are as hyped as we are with the upcoming invitational. I see there's been a lot of applications. I think that are interested in this occasion. Hello, Daniel. Hi, Boscat Rover. Always glad to see you here.
Hey everyone.
And we can't wait to share with you guys most exciting news. Well, partially now, and the other part soon after. We'll get to it. Just a few minutes away. Yeah, I mean, I think we had a discussion, internal discussion. I think the usage of the word raffle is maybe problematic, as raffles could indicate winning a prize. I would call it drawing, maybe. I think it's more accurate. We sometimes simplify and use the words we're most familiar with. Nothing wrong with that. But it's good to be clear. So we have applications or people who've entered. Yeah, I mean, it's a prize if you win, right? But yeah, I guess subjective. But yeah, if basically we have 12 slots per race, and we split the field into 3 stat groups. We had a question earlier about the variation. Why is the middle group very close range or very close window, and then the wider windows are bigger? It's a natural distribution. It's the bell curve, where across the whole equine population, actually, you'll find there's more in the middle across every stat. But then if you have it across every stat, that means also across everything, it also has the same distribution. And we do actually have that phenomena. So the population follows that same trend.
And also this is based basically on what the horses that were submitted, right? Just as simple as that. So people submitted roughly this way. But yeah, as you say, like the very low stat and very high stat horses are rare, right? So by definition, there's a big accumulation as you go to the middle of the stats. Keeping in mind that this is 2 years horses, right, and that might evolve in different directions, it should not change overall curve significantly, but yeah.
Yeah, and I see some community members have been active in reminding people, but it's good that we also do this reminder. While these races will use, let's say, the current version or the version available at the time of the race of the race engine, it should not at all be considered a representation of the engine on release on mainnet. We are bound for updates and revisions to the engine. We don't want to do huge changes in the math of the engine, but consider this even before that main fine tuning. So it's pretty rough around the edges, I would say, for now. As you guys know, we've been focusing all of our efforts into the integration and development and making everything connected and work. We've always left a few things, as important as they are, we've left them as something we can work on while the thing is functional and being tested. That includes the balancing. It also includes some UI and UX stuff. We're accepting or taking a risk or accepting that it will be rough around the edges in some aspects, in some sides, and then we'll polish that rather than we work on polishing forever and never release anything. So that's a call we've made. All right, I think there's one question I just got somewhere, so let me just make sure I have that. All right. Okay, so without further ado, we're at the 5-minute mark and we'll jump straight into our content. And instead of keeping you guys waiting, we will actually start directly with the raffle or with the drawing. I even use that word myself. And that would be, this is the agenda. So we have that, again, we're calling it raffle, but the drawing of the participants. Raffle may actually be technically accurate, so I apologize if it is. Development updates, game design updates, and then we'll go through the AMA. So without further ado, this is first Yara Garden's first invitational raffle. The first invitational we host on our 3D viewer and using our racing engine. I think it's a big community milestone, aside from the development milestone that we're also achieving. And with that, I will be handing over to Marek. Marek, once you have the screen for sharing. Maybe just a reminder, Marek, can you take us through just a quick reminder of what we're doing here?
Can you switch sharing? I already shared. It should be there. Okay, so quick reminder. As Fahad mentioned, we'll have 3 races. So you have 3 groups of stats. One is under 144, the other is 144 to 154, and then 155 plus. So we'll do drawing for each of them using the wheel of names, which we usually do. It's a standard way. And we will draw basically 12 names. So those are the names of people who submitted. We, of course, have the number of horse and the name of horse and all that information as well. But this is enough. So what I'll do is I'll spin the wheel 12 times. And as you can see here, or maybe not, it's very tiny probably, but on the screen, but we have 21 entries for this group. The middle group has 22 and the last one has 21 as well. So chances are not too bad, around 1 in 2 for each of them. And as I said, we will be doing one by one because that's how it works. Shouldn't take too long. I set up the wheel to take 5 seconds instead of the usual 10. And what we also thought of is that the order in which you are selected will also mean the allocation on the track, right? So starting
gates,
with
yes.
Sorry?
Yeah, the gates or the slot for the horse.
So basically, the first horse that will be first owner of the horse and the horse that will be selected will get gate 12. Second will get 11, and the last one will get gate number 1. So I think that covers all of it. We will start the draw now. I see Boska Drover was asking about categories, but I think I explained this. So this is the lowest, right? So this is the 143 and less. What I'll do for each of them, this is the order they were submitted. So I will shuffle it a few times, as you can probably see live happening right now. And let's start. I turn off the sound, so because it's necessary. Okay, we have the first one, Big Bolski CNFT. We go second, and we'll do it until we have 12, right? JPS, looks like a Predator is going in. We'll see what will happen with this one. Then we have Raiboto. Congrats. Mike Fly.
I was about to make a comment about people being regulars and members of the community, but then I look at the names and everyone is very
regular. It's most of them we've seen regularly.
It's beautiful.
Brandon, David, 0. Still have a few more. We still have a few names here and there. Artisanate. Okay, that's 6. So halfway we filled in. Edwin Tax 1. 5 more. Carter Crip 10. 4 more. Jay Cardano fan. Congrats. 3 more. Dojo got 3s. Okay, just 2 more. We see few names that are very recognizable. Master Ludwig. And the last one, guys. Good. Let's see what happens. Nero NFT 07. I have to say that the T-Cove was few times very close, but didn't get it. So this is our 12. We'll publish it probably tomorrow for all 3 categories, right? So this is our 12. And as I said, the top one will get the gate 12. The bottom one will get gate 1, right? So this is our lowest category. Now we are jumping to 144 to 154. Let me just have a double check because this is... just want to 100% make sure here.
There's no repeats, right? If somebody joined the first category?
No, we didn't allow in the end repeats, if I understand correctly. So I will shuffle a few times.
I'm sorry to those who didn't make it. I saw we have a Boss Cat Rover with us here, but unfortunately,
Boss Cat Rover. It's obviously a first one, but it's not the only one. Well, soon we hope to open the beta, so everyone will be playing anyway. But okay, let's go to the second one. Few shuffles, just to make sure everything is very, very fair. And we start. We have 22 entries here, not 21. And again, pulling 12. Box Hill Stables 1. Congrats. Dara GH Carol 5. Ikai at Box H2. $21 AGX.
I can see the space bud.
Arden Park, the Arden Union.
Nice.
Cardano Cat. Cardano God. Okay, halfway through. Louis B. Arcturiano 10. Ren 1. Yeah, Pearson. 4 more. That was borderline, but Adaditude gets it.
Yeah.
T-Bone, CNF T-Bone. 2 more. You see a few regular names. Dale D'Antoni. Spirilla 11. And the very last one. Cross your fingers, guys, if you're still in the run. Let's see who will get it. Crypto Joe. Okay, a few names here that are regulars that didn't make it this time. Sorry about that, guys. Lack of a draw, not something we control. So this is the 12s. And again, top gets the gate 12, bottom gets gate 1. And we are moving to the highest stat category. Again, I'll just have a very quick look that everything here is as it should be. Yes, we see some big names and big players here. Let's
horses
do
as well.
Big horses, yes. Quick shuffle a few times, and we are off. 21 are entered, 12 goes through. Oh, we are getting the top.
Starts with the big guns.
Wreck-It Rolf gets in. Indra, Spacefish 6679. Suike. Physicals the boss. What crypto dude? DVNC. Okay, halfway through. Still quite a few names out there.
Oh, that was close between Grandpa and Escobar.
happens. Oh, Stasia will get it. We'll have a chance to race in his created game. You don't know, all the invitational so far has been run through a game that Eustacia created for fun and offered so much fun to the community, which is absolutely amazing. Has been amazing every time there are some small updates or fixes needed. So we are very, very grateful. And I'm personally very happy that this luck turned to be to allow him to be part of the.
This is so meta. This is so meta to get Eustacia join the first invitation that's not on Lovely Stones. But congratulations. Exactly. Good luck in the race.
Speed Farm.
Nice.
High Horse 100. We have a few more big names here. Deferg. Okay, two more. Rams is close, but Tomo. Okay, Tomo gets in. And the very, very last draw of this round and this invitational. Good luck to all. Reishi, Cardano Reishi. Sorry
seeing these names. Yeah, seeing these names that don't make the cut, I think reminds me of people asking earlier on that this is as inclusive as possible. We have as many players. We had to reduce this. Being the first one run on the engine, we didn't want to take risks in having too many horses running or having too many steps. Basically, it would have been difficult. But rest assured, we'll make sure to include as many. Once we have this set up and smooth, the first one is usually the most difficult or most challenging when we're transitioning. But I think we'll always keep chances for those. I think I'd like to include as many people as we can, but rest assured, we will keep you guys included and we'll keep running events, whether it's even on the blockchain part of the platform or in these community events.
Yeah, absolutely. So sorry for those who missed it. I know we have few huge supporters here who didn't make the cut, unfortunately, this time. But yeah, we will be doing it again. We will be doing more of those. And also, once we have this running, once we do this proof of concept, let's call it, with 12, we'll see if we can stretch it more. So next time it becomes even more inclusive, but we at least have the 36. We really wanted to make sure we get as many people as possible. So thank you, everyone, for
thank you so much.
Your
don't go anywhere. We still have a town hall happening.
Yes.
So that was the start. Shall I switch back, Mark?
Yes, we can.
So with that out of the way, good luck to everyone. Mark your calendars, and good luck in those races. We'll prepare as well as we can for this event to be as successful as possible. This is a double prize event, so it's going to have a prize pool of 2,000 ADA split. Actually, slightly different just to have that. But
100 to be exact, because it's 700 per class per race. And then everyone who participates will also get the NFT poster, right? And Fahad, we can take it offline and think if we should do it for everyone who submitted or everyone who actually raced. We can figure it out.
Let's have that discussion. Sure. All right, let's get to the content. So the development update, the race viewer integration, we've been pushing. That is the main milestone we want to reach, and that's closing the whole loop. We've been running races on the testnet. These races have been without a race viewer. So we just plug in a race, horses go in, we get the results out, but we don't see the whole race. So the race viewer integration is almost complete. Very, very close, actually. We're trying and pushing hard for this to be done before the town hall. A few hitches, but we're almost there. We've successfully already implemented the update to the race system so that the simulation data for every race is stored on our database. That's one. And then we also implemented a function so that however it's saved in the database, it's then converted and adapted to the format that our race viewer needs. That's also already implemented and deployed. And then the next thing is we've tried to test this on the race viewer, which is like the final step of this. There is a bit of an issue. Most of our actually all of our 3D testing so far, that our at least recent implementation, has been based on 7 furlongs, 1,400 meters. The races that we were hosting are 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs. So it was supposed to also be compatible with that distance, but it turns out that the way or the logic that was used for the racetrack shape, let's say, was a little bit mismatched. So it caused some issues even in loading it. We're working now on resolving that. As soon as we have it working, basically we'll be sharing that update. But it's already exciting to see that basically today on the beta, on the closed beta, any race that it gets run, I can get to go and see all that simulation data. It is numbers, so it doesn't really show anything 3D. But I also know that our 3D team have already implemented it so that these numbers, once fed into the system, will work. And we're really pushing for this to be out and working and functional. Even if some things are missing or some things are buggy, we just want this to be out there and working, and then we'll work on debugging and polishing all these things. It's just such an important milestone, because having this done, it means that we already have everything working. Things like supporting the right jockey colors. Like yesterday, I prepared the saddle graphics for the different numbers so that the different saddle numbers are supported. These small details are important, but more important is for it all to work. And we've really been waiting until we can tie up this knot and get something functional. So that's the update on the race viewer. As usual, if I do get this running, it's a major milestone. I'll be sharing this as a separate update even before the town hall, the next town hall comes. A few more updates on the blockchain side. So the blockchain team are working on a few improvements. One of them is we've had an issue where our beta testers are actually locked out of their horses. I explained this last time. So we've already done it in a way that we can switch those, but we want to also support multiples. So the issue right now is anytime we update the code, the blockchain code, people who have horses in the contract from the earlier version cannot claim them. So we're doing this so that it has a few past versions of compatibility. It's a simple thing, hopefully. That's already on our list of our blockchain team. We prioritized the simulation storage that I just mentioned before doing these, because it's more important to get the 3D viewer out, but this is also in the works. Second thing is, and I think this is big for everyone, and subject to feasibility. If there's a challenge that makes it not possible, we think it should be possible, but we want to support auto claiming of horses. And we've seen that a lot of the pain of the user right now in the beta testing is that it's 2 steps. We enter the horse and then we have to claim the horse back. And it was back then due to the structure of the smart contract. We've made a few changes, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works well. We've already done a partial update actually already to support this, but there's a second step of it. If this works, basically you just have to send your horse in, you get the prize back, and you get the horse back. How it works right now is you get the prize immediately, but you have to claim the horse. So we're working on supporting that. To reduce the horse step, it will cost us a little bit more per race, so it will also affect our economics a bit, but we think it's well worth it for the user experience to reduce that step. After the race viewer is integrated and it's deployed, the 3D team next job will just be continuous improvement of this viewer so that we can support all of the higher priority features that are still not implemented. There's still quite a lot of things actually that we need to implement in the viewer, but once it's connected, it's just a matter of ticking them off one by one. So that's the development update actually. On the game design side, I see we have Craig with us here. Instance races, we have about 80% of naming is complete. We have all of the names, for instance, feature races already done actually already. And then up to the age of 4 years old. So that's the first 3 seasons basically, or 3 years of age, 2, 3, and 4. We're not putting as much effort into the ones after, only because one, that's happening quite a while after. But also there will be a bit of adjustment. We want to see which races really attract the players. This will have to be a balance of game design, let's say, and scheduling. So there's a lot of exciting things to come in that aspect. All right, so that's the game design side of things. I guess we're skipping, Mark, the community and marketing side because we've already done the draw.
That was the growing rate. That was the focus.
Yeah. On the AMS side, Charles said he's having a team come out and do a 3D scan of Nike so they can put him in video games. Equine is probably the best positioned game to utilize that 3D asset. Would you make a Nike skin for Equine? I know our friends also at Reflect, among other platforms, also have quite a few game IPs, some of which are, I understand, are on Cardano. And also have quite a few other IPs, but thank you for considering us. I do think that we are one of the games that are well positioned to use that 3D asset. You guys know how focused we are on the timeline of releasing on mainnet, but will you make a Nike skin for Equine? I would say subject to being able to implement it. I don't know if there's any specific rights. I'll have to look into it. It's an interesting question. I think, as rightly pointed out, I think it would be a cool thing to include, given that we have our community here on Cardano. If we can do this, I think I'd be excited to do this. So let us work on that. I don't want this to distract me from releasing. You guys also don't want me to be distracted from releasing mainnet, but I think this is actually an exciting idea. We have quite a few other skins to also support. I know you guys already have bought skins from the Pioneer collection. There's a few other seasonal skins. We had the Christmas skin and the cool skin from the Vegas event. So we want to support actually all of those. We already have some progress on that. But if we can support the Nike skin, and if we are allowed in terms of rights to support that, I think we'd be excited to do that. So thank you for suggesting this. It's a nice idea. Another question I think we got from Physicos was, what is your plan to avoid the possibility of overpopulation that has killed nearly every game in this genre? Right. So I've also seen actually most of the discussion that has happened on the Discord. First, I will preface this by saying I am extremely bullish on the community that is so aware that they are able to have these discussions. It tells me that we have attracted the right community and we have attracted the right people to this project. It's a very level-headed discussion. I think Physicus, you yourself have pointed out a few things or commented on this, and I suppose this question is a continuation of it. But you guys are all absolutely right in that this is one of the key game design elements that are absolutely critical to nail right. We understand that it's complex. We've built actually quite a few models on how we can do this or how we should do this. We already believe that the horses having a lifespan is already a positive thing. We already believe that non-pioneer horses not having a reroll option means that they will pass away at some point. So even if you do have an overpopulation event, it will only be throughout the lifespan of those horses. But at some point in time, those will pass away. And unless people keep breeding, then that probably will eventually stop. We still don't want that to happen in the longer term. So those are two things. I see people mentioned, for example, the higher cost of breeding. While that is a nice basic, let's say, solution to that, and we still believe it is, and let's say a price that is high enough to deter people from mindless breeding is something we think is part of the solution. We also believe that once all things are aligned, I think having a token that also has supply and demand balance might be a good solution. We also have basically an algorithm that we've made, which has adjusting breeding fees based on the population. So there's a concept of, we have a number of users that are active. We have a number of horses that are active. Both are easily measured. That can feed into an algorithm, which also defines. So because what is overpopulation? Overpopulation is having more horses than required for the game or required by the market. We even discussed the factor of horses listed in the market as a factor to this. Obviously, it's a bit harder to introduce all those APIs to measure and then to also avoid manipulation. People could just decide to make more wallets and spread those horses. So it shows that we have more users, more horses per user, or sorry, fewer horses per user. That makes the breeding fee lower. So there's all kinds of manipulation that can happen, unfortunately, for many of the systems. But we are thinking of the best way that is fair to everyone, that gives everyone the right chance and drives the right behavior. Our target is to have the right behavior of breeding mindfully. We don't want to be fully controlling it. We'd rather want this to be, let's say, primarily driven by the actual market and the game parameters. And I have a few other thoughts, but I think I'll leave them to the right time to share. But this is the general, let's say, outlook of this. We'll get to more details actually on breeding and population control a little bit later on, once we also implement the breeding on testnet, so that we can also have that discussion with people who have tested out that user experience. Okay, that is about it. Let me see. Do we have any other questions? Any questions from chat? I see people who either congratulations, got congratulated on making it, or did not make it. Farmers too. I'm sorry you couldn't make it. I'm sorry for all the others who also couldn't make it. But this is not the last event. You guys have been with us for a while, and we also want to keep this going for as long as we can. And this event, given the state of things, will happen on the 3D viewer on our racing engine, but not on the blockchain, right? So there won't be horses that will be submitted into a smart contract. But we want to use the invitational to also progress through these steps. So I think maybe the invitational after or two after, we also do this. Actually, it's going to be approaching the end of summer, which is also when we want to do the release. So it might be the right time to also do that invitational using horses on the blockchain. We just want to take those steps step by step instead of jumping straight to the full thing. All right, let me just make sure we don't have any other questions on Discord. I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any. So thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. Always your attendance and participation are greatly appreciated. We can't wait to share with you the next update. Hopefully before the next town hall, you guys are going to see the racing engine live. We're going to put a bit of work into ensuring the invitational experience is also smooth for everyone. Given we have enough time, we'll try to do a little bit of tuning to the racing engine just to make sure things are as good as possible to present. But always bear in mind, this is a disclaimer that this is not a final product. We're still always adjusting things on the go. And as an online game, it will never be quote unquote finished until the game is closed. We'll always keep adjusting, improving, updating the different parameters of the game, including tuning the game balance, including tuning the game features, the user experience, etc. So thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a nice town hall. Thanks for all those who participate, and we look forward to seeing you. Good luck to those who will join the race, and better luck next time. To those who did not make the drawing this time, we will make sure that there are more opportunities for you to join in great events coming in the future. So yeah, this marks the end of the town hall. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is Fahad signing out.